Hello and welcome to the Qlik Sense tutorial, and in this tutorial we will going to learn a lot related to the Qlik Sense. We will going to dive directly into how to download and install Qlik Sense, how to import the data, applying filters, creating KPIs, visualization, and finally the dashboard. So if you have landed here, I'm sure you want to learn it, and this is not my first tutorial. I have done a series of tutorial, more than 100 videos on the Qlik Sense already, and one of my very famous video is on the Qlik Sense basics tutorial, which I posted around 6-7 years ago. So I'm using this tool from a long time, but I'm doing a refresher course now. So if you want to access that, you can access that as well. The link is given in the description. But if you are landing here, that means I'm sure that you want to learn about Qlik Sense, right? And then what I have is basically the topics for you that I will going to cover. So here are the topics that I will going to cover. Let me see why it is not coming. Okay, let me just go out of the yes. So here is this: how to download and install Qlik Sense Desktop is the first topic. Reviewing the dashboard that we will going to create. This is a project. So this earlier, my approach was that I used to create component like filters, pie chart, bar chart, KPI, and show you. But this time we will go with a much more cohesive and a focused approach, that what is our end output will going to look like, so that we know this is my objective and this is what I will going to create in the end. Then we will going to review the data that will be used, and we will see where this data is present and you can access it. Creating a new app, we will going to create a new app once we install the Qlik Sense Desktop, which I will tell you, which is a bit tricky, and I will tell you how you can get over it. Then importing data and applying filters, how you can import the data and apply the filters, because that's a very common scenario. You have to remove the null values, you have to remove the other values that you don't want, right? So reviewing the data manager is also one of the things which we are going to use a lot in future videos, let's say for join, for union, and many other data massaging things, right? Creating new fields, right? So all of that, creating and formatting KPIs, creating and formatting charts, creating filters and interacting with the filters, right? And next step is what you should expect in my next sessions, and advanced dashboard training is something which I will show you. So where I cover 10 advanced dashboards, which is very advanced from the perspective of the calculations that you create, or the the modeling that you will going to create is a tricky modeling, and the visualization piece, right? Visualization piece and visualization configuration, something which you will not found anywhere else. And these are some of the very highly highly appreciated dashboard from other communities like a Tableau community and Power BI community. I have done a lot of research, found out the 10 great examples of what a professional and highly skilled dashboard will going to look like, or a good perfect dashboard will going to look like, and that I have shown you here in my advanced dashboard training, which is part of my paid training, which I cover and which I'll show you is how you can access it. Okay, so these will be the next step, but we're going to talk about that later. First thing is to fill you with this information, and first thing first is how to download and install the Qlik Sense, because without that we won't be able to do anything, right? So over here, let me come to this new tab. So over here what we're going to enter is this link, garden.qlik.dev, right? So if you click on this, then what you will going to see is this Garden. Garden is your portal to access open source extension, visualization mashups, and tools to solve real challenges. So this is a developer area, right? So over here, what you need to do is you need to come over here on the QST unlock. Once you will click on that, what you will going to see is the options, product downloads, right? And it will show you an app, and from this app I have downloaded it. By the way, I am directly jumping over here, but what you will going to see is a login screen. So you create one new login, which is very straightforward via your Gmail ID, right? That's what I did. So what you have is the latest releases and patches. So over here in the product filter, you need to come and you will see all the product, and what you need to select is the Qlik Sense Desktop. Once you will click on the Qlik Sense Desktop, the May 2024 version will come, which is the latest version over here. Now in this you will see the Qlik Sense Desktop set. Once you will click on this, it will start downloading. Since I have already downloaded it, I will not going to download, but once you will click on it, you will start installing. The second file is the Qlik Sense Desktop unlock instructions. So how you will going to unlock it, and I will show you. It's a very simple, straightforward process of creating a folder and putting this file, Qlik Sense Desktop.unlock file, into the folder. And finally, what you have is another Qlik Sense Desktop setup, which is with the patch number 3. This was initial release. This is the third patch or the version. So you can download this one, which is the latest one. So once you have, let's say, downloaded and installed this file, this basically the Qlik Sense Desktop version, the next thing is you need to go to the location where your Qlik Sense is installed. So in my case, the Qlik Sense is installed under my documents over here, which you can see the Qlik is present, right? So if I double click on the Qlik, I find the Qlik Sense, and if I double click over here, what you will going to see is basically this 3 folders: apps, logs, and this trial folder, right? This is the key where you will put that unlock file. So once this one will not be available, what you need to do is you need to right click and create the new folder. Right click and new and folder. Once you will click on this new folder, give this name trial with small t, right? You double click on this and put simply this unlock file over here. What it will do is it will unlock the Qlik Sense Desktop for the for let's say around 1.5 months. And once this is expired, you will basically go in and find out the new unlock file and just put it over here as an extension to it. So once you will put the unlock file, you will going to have the desktop unlocked, and this will be available for the next version. Let me show you right from the start how you will get it. So if I click over here, or if I start my Qlik Sense from the icon, it will appear in a second. Just give it a second. Takes, I think, some time. All right, let's see. Yeah, now it's coming. Okay, version May 2024. Welcome to Qlik Sense Desktop. You need to log in against Qlik Sense Enterprise or Business, right? So we don't need that. But over here, in my case, trial expires 6 August 2024. I basically downloaded and installed it somewhere around 3rd or 4th July, somewhere around that. So it gives me basically 1 month time, right? Which is a good enough time. But again, if you want to further extend it, just simply bring the new unlock file, which will be available on that Qlik Garden, which I showed you at the start, and it will give you the information. So this is how the option of creating the new app. So we have covered our first topic, how to download and install the Qlik Sense Desktop, right? If you have any question, let me know. But that is our first one. Second is reviewing the app that we will going to create today. So this is the one, the executive dashboard or the application that I have for you that we will going to create today. Okay. This has KPIs, charts, filters, and everything. So this is executive dashboard, right? All of these. Over here, it has the sheet. So if I click on that, what you will going to see is basically a dashboard, a professional dashboard, which basically every management who needs to track their business, like what is my sales, profit, quantity, discount, customer, and products that I'm selling, the number of product that I'm selling is present. As you can see, these are properly formatted, right? And then you have the filter at the top where you can basically see all of the filters like region, state, city, and order date. That way you can evaluate all your region sales, all your state business, or your city business. Down below you have the charts to support these KPIs, like sales by category, sales quarterly trend, the product subcategory, basically sales, and the profit and sales of the different states over here, right? Clearly showing you New York and California is the highest one in terms of sales and profit, whereas your Washington is high on sales but less on profit. High on profit but less on sales. So definitely this is the one which you may want to focus more, like, okay, even if my sales is less, the profit is high, so how can I basically optimize the rest of the other two regions? Okay, so this is about quick insights that a dashboard can give you, right? And we will see how we can create this dashboard step by step very easily, right? Now the next thing is, let me show it, is reviewing the data used in this dashboard, right? So we will going to review this data, but first of all, where is this data? Okay, so the data will be present in the data set folder, for which I have given you the link. Okay, this is my link for all of my, if you see, I have previously created Qlik Sense file in 2020, Qlik View file, I have my Power BI, I have my Tableau. So I do a lot of blogging. As you can see, I have Python related Jupyter notebooks. So I have many dashboard in all of these technologies. But for Qlik Sense, what do I have is, what I'm doing is, now I'm keeping all of my data set, because I don't want to keep the same data set multiple copies. As you can see, I'm running out of storage. So what I'm doing is, I have data sets sheet. So if I double click on that, what I have is, now wherever my data set is in whatever folder is just present here, right? So over here, the data set that I'm using is this sample superstore data set. And if there will be any change in the data set, I will keep showing you. But just keep in mind that I will be using this data set for all of my next scenarios, or pretty much every scenario. If anything else, like hospital case, project management case, is something which I will show you, then I will put that particular information in that video. But for now, this is the sample superstore data set, is something which I will going to use. Okay, so if I come back to my this one, and I've used the sample superstore, double click on that, you will see that the data set, if you have never ever seen it. But I use this because this is very simple and easy to understand. So suppose that you are running a superstore which is having a different location in the United States, as you can see, in different cities, state, right, the region information. What it has is, every day you are selling orders, right? So you have order ID, order date, when you are shipping it, what is the shipping mode, right? Second class, first class, who is the customer, customer ID, customer name, right? And the segment, consumer, home office, corporate, what type of customer it is, the location information, the product information like the product ID, the category, the subcategory, and the product name. So very basic and simple data set. Then you have the people information, which is who is the regional manager and what region they are responsible to. And third sheet is about the returns. So in a business, return is very normal, right? Customer don't like the product, they return it. So these are the returns, and these are the return order ID. That we will use it later. But for now, what do we have is this data set which we will going to load. So what I'll do is, I will close this and I'll come back, and what I'll do is, I will use my Qlik Sense to create a new app. Okay, so I'll close this and I will just look at my topics. What do we have is, we have reviewed the data, right? Now what we're going to do is, we will going to create a new app. Okay, so for that, I'll just come over here. We have the option of creating a new app over here. But if you are opening it first time, I showed you at the start that create a new app option was present over there as well. Okay, so we will call it new executive dashboard, right, that I'm creating newly with you. So I hope you are with me. So new executive dashboard, I'll create it, right? New executive dashboard was created successfully. Now what you will do is open app. Okay, so now what we are doing is opening an app. As we open an app, you can see the new executive dashboard is present, no data loaded, right? And where this file is present, this location. So the file extension is QVF. So it has documents, Qlik Sense apps, new executive.qvf. Okay. So if you click over here, the pencil icon, let me just go back. If you click over here on this pencil icon, edit, you can change the new executive dashboard name, right? Let's say later you want to change it, also you can change it, and you can give the description, and you can say KPIs. I know it will be a little bit small, right? But what I'm writing is KPIs and charts for executive level business tracking, right? Simple description, KPIs and chart for executive level business tracking. I suggest in your real scenario, give as much detail as possible. So next is the setting application option. What it has is a lot of options, like you want to allow the chart scripts or not, for further extending of your chart. This is a very advanced use case, so I'll not cover over here. But then you have the appearance right to left, especially for those languages which starts from right and go to left. For example, Arabic language or the Urdu language is something which starts from right and go to left, but right now it is disabled because any other language like English starts from left and go to right. You can change the application theme from here. You have the 4 option over here. You have the show over menu to the visualization, chart animation, show toolbar. We want all of that. Sheet title, that you want to change the background color, right? So you can change it. You have an image, let's say for the background, you can change it. You want to show the sheet header, then you can show the sheet header or not, which will show the name new executive dashboard, right? Font color, what font you want to use, and image alignment, all of it is right aligned. So I want to just keep it with what is a default option, right? Because this is specific to very specific type of scenarios, and I don't want to mess it up for the basic tutorial video. Okay, so I'm closing this, and now I am over here. Save this, right? So it is now saved. Next option is adding data and file and other sources, and you have the option of add data to the data loader, the data load editor, where you can basically customize your script. But for now, I want to use the easiest option because we are starting very first time. So add data from files and other sources, right? The data load editor is for those who have got some experience and know how to handle the script, which is also very easy because this is similar to SQL or SQL scripts, right? So it is saying that it is analyzing the data, initializing add data. So everything's little bit takes time over here, and I'll just let it initialize, and then what I'm going to do is simply import the data. So let me hit pause button and let me okay, now it is here. I didn't have to pause it. Okay, what you have is the lot of connectors over here, as you can see, to connect to almost any data type, like even Twitter, right? You can directly connect to this MySQL, MongoDB, ODBC, SQL Server. Everything is pretty much present here. Cloud databases, Redshift, right? So everything is present here. What I'm going to use is my old school way of my computer, right? So in my computer, the file is in the my downloads folder. So let me see if I can find it. All right, I see that. Yes, this is where it is present. Okay. So what do I have is the orders sheet, and I can evaluate So these are the columns. So XLS format, embedded names, header size, everything is fine because headers are coming properly. I don't need row number, so I will uncheck that. So any column that I don't need, I will going to uncheck that, right? So that is the thing, and I will just review it. Everything looks fine, right? So you have the option over here and you have the next. So before I do next, what do I have is over here, if you see or and observe, you have tables and you have filters, right? So filter is one of the topic. If you remember from our presentation, importing data and applying filters, right? So here I will show you how you can apply the filter. So over here you have filter, you have the option over here, add filter, right? And let's say you want to apply the filter that you want the region equals to, you want, let's say, east, right? And one more region equals to west. Or what you can do is you can even apply it over here, west, come out. So what it will going to do is it will only bring the region east and west information. If you have any other filter, for example, you have the category and you want only the furniture product because it has home office furniture. So what you can do is you can just specify furniture or technology, right? So it starts bringing you this, and if you see, two filters are present in the tables. Right over here, if you see, the data right now is shown for every region. You have south as well, but if you remember, we have east and west, if I remember, right? East and west. So when the data will be loaded, it will show you east and west, only that data, right? And over here, if you see the category, we have furniture, office supplies, and technology. But when the data will be loaded, it will only show you the furniture. Okay. So that is something we can test. I can click on next, right? It will take 5 to 7 seconds to load the data. So let's see 7, 8, yep, 8 seconds. So 1 second extra, which is okay, right? So I have this sheet, right? And over here in this sheet, we can evaluate the data. How we can evaluate? By going into the edit sheet. We have one option over here, right? In which we can create component and bring it. But I have one special thing for you, reviewing the data manager. So that is where we will going to review it. So later we will come into the sheet. For now, I will say done editing. But I will go over here in the data manager, which is given over here, right? So model your data here, associate tables, load your data here, got it, right? So this is a data manager where you can add more tables or add data. But let's go and see the category field. So if you see, the category is now having only furniture, right? It is not having the rest of the other information. And if you see, region is now having only east and west, nothing else other than that, right? So east and west, category, furniture, very, very easy and straightforward, right? So that is what I wanted to basically tell you, is how easy it is to load the data or filter the data in the Qlik Sense, and applying the filter also is pretty straightforward. And the question after that comes is, what if we want to remove these filters, right? We have the information about, we have put the filter on the category and the region, right? We want to remove that. So what do you have down below is some options like edit this table, refresh or reload this table, delete this table, and the clear filters. So let's say you have put the filters, but you want to remove all of those filters, then you can click over here, right? So if you see right now, we have region west and east only, right? Category is only furniture. If you will see, everywhere you will see only this information. But let's say we want to remove this. We realize that no, we need the data. So we can click on this filter and we will remove it. And now other values will also appear in the region. So if you see, the south started coming, central started coming in the region, and if you go on the here, along with furniture, you have office supplies, technology, right? So you have these options. Then over here, just some option of viewing the details, concatenate or join. If you have multiple tables, synchronize script tables, that's a different section. We will cover it later. The next piece I wanted to show you is about editing this table. If you click on this pencil icon, what you get to know is about each of these fields within the data. And if you see, this field is selected, which is state, and you can see some statistics about the state, like California is having the highest values and so on and so forth. If I scroll this on the right, so this is nothing but scroll bar. So if you scroll on the right, you have the Oregon, and then you have some operations that you can put, like replacing the values. If you want to, let's say, replace Kentucky with something else, you can click on Kentucky and you can replace it with something else. What is a replacement value? All of these is very easy and straightforward operation. If you want to set the nulls, select the distinct values you want to treat as a null value, then you can do that. Order is not recommended for field for more than 25 distinct values, so less than 25 values where ordering will be helpful. This is a manual order, so that when you are doing a sort or you want a specific order to be followed in the front end, you can do that. And option of split, create new fields by splitting on position. Let's say there is this field, right? For example, product ID, you want to split that. So you can select this and this information will come over. Select from here. The information will come over here. You can split. It has already shown you the split, right? And you can split product ID 1, 2, and 3. So all of that operation, as you can see, very, very easy. Now, the scenario, another interesting scenario, which pretty much I'm sure that you will not find it and only experienced developer can tell you. Let's say your manager or your business analyst who is giving you the requirement is coming back and telling you, now I want to add some more filter. I want to bring back the previous filter and add more filters. What will you do in that case? If you are a beginner, you will start searching, spend hours and hours, but here I am to save those hours for you. So if you want to again apply the filters, right, what you have the option over here is the select data from source. It's not pretty intuitive. I'm sure if you will look at very first time I looked at it, I spent a good amount of time to really understand it. But when you click on that, it will bring you the same interface. If you remember right at the start, where you have the table, we unchecked this, and then in the filters, right? If you remember the filters, in the filters, now the filters we have removed it, we can add the filters again, right? So if you remember, we had the region, so we had the east, we had the west tab. I'm hitting the tab to enter it, and then I can add one more filter on that category, and this will be the furniture, right? And click on update. As soon as I update, the information is now again updated. So this is to help you in those scenarios where you may spend hours like I did. So that way it will be easy for you. So we can then say load data, or if you want to come back to the associations view. Right now we are in the tables, we went to association view, we are in the association view, right? So this is something very interesting. And again, this option is enabled. We can clear the filter. I want to clear the filter because I want to bring all the data, right? So now you know what is data manager. You are aware about how you can remove the filter. You are aware about editing the field in which you can see each individual column statistic. From that, you can see how you can order the field, how you can split the field, how you can set the null, how you can replace the values. A lot has been covered, right? And all of these are an interview questions when you are going in an interview. Okay, so please practice this and tell me if you have any questions in the comments. All right, so Once we have done that, what we will going to do is loading the data. Okay, so once we will going to load the data, then it will be available for us. Close. So what it does is not done adding and modeling your data. Close to continue your data. Yes, close it. All right, and then we can come over here in the sheet that we created, or the new executive dashboard where our new sheet is present, right? So we will go into the edit sheet. We have the edit sheet option over here, or we can go to the sheet which is here and edit it, right? As you can see, this is basically bringing us a couple of options like data manager. If you see, now it's gone. It's coming. So that's also one thing which you need to be aware. If this is coming and you are figuring out, oh, from where do I need to remove this? Well, this is where it is, right? Now we will go into the edit sheet, and in the edit sheet we will start creating our KPIs. I think that's what we want to do next. So we have reviewed and understood the data manager very well, right? You are with me? And now we will going to create the KPIs. Okay, so how do we create the KPIs? Well, very easy, not an issue. Okay, so for KPI, if you see, these are all the fields. By the way, I will give you a quick overview of this interface. This is nothing but where you are going to create your report and dashboards, right? And in this, you have the fields, you have the master items that I will cover it later, and you have the charts, right? So you have created the charts that you want to create, like KPI, bar chart, line chart, and all of that, and custom object for those custom needs, right? We will cover it later or based on the need. Okay, so first thing first is KPI, right? So we have the KPI. So by default, what it does, it creates the section for you, but for now what I'll do is I will just reduce it to this level. You have one. So add measure. What do we want is sales, right? Sum of sales. So we will, yeah, this much is fine, I believe, right? Sum of sales. And if I further, no, this much should be good. All right. So you have the 2.3 million, right? And in the 2.3 million is something which is coming fine. That's okay. Now what we will going to do, we will add one more KPI and we will give this over here. But one thing which I will show you is sum of sales is not looking good. So if I double click, nothing happens. So what do I need to do is we have the options over here on the appearance, right? So let's see, we have the show titles option, right? Show the title, and title we want to show is the sales, right? So we have gone to here, we have shown the subtitles, and we have show details. Allow users to choose the view details such as description, measure, and dimension. You uncheck that, right? Nothing will happen because nothing is shown over here, right? So that is something. We have the show title as the title over here. But then I want to remove this sum of sales which is unnecessary coming. So what I can do is come over here on data, over here in the sales, this icon, and we have the expression, we have the label, which we can remove it by just giving a one space. Okay, so we have this option of removing the sales. So by default it comes, but we have the option of removing it, and that's where I'm just adding one space to it and apply, and not here but here. Come on, why are you not doing it for me? All right, let's see. No, very interesting. It is. So over here, let's put sales. Nothing will come. It will be always sum of sales. Yep, sum of sales is fine, but I just don't want this label to come. Alright, so I can do one thing. I can simply specify null, which is a null function, and click apply, and this is gone. This is by force I am doing it. I was hoping, because I remember I have done it, where I have, if I control X and give a space, it basically removes it, but for some reason it is not happening this time, but not an issue. Okay, so we have null over here. Now I can add the next measure, right? I can add profit, and sum of profit is 286.4, right? Again, if you will see number formatting, the label is present. For now, number formatting, I will do it, but for a different use case. However, you have the option that you can simply show number, you can show money, right? You can show date, whatever you want, you can bring it. But for now, I just keep auto, and in appearance, I will say show title, and that will be profit, yes. And show allow users to choose the view details such as description, measure, and dimension. Yeah, that's okay, so that people can view it. Over here also in the data, what I will do is I will just put null so that it is gone. Okay. Other than that, yes, I think this should be okay. The next KPI I will going to create is over here, right? And we will going to say it quantity, let's say Q U. Yes, quantity is present here. Oh, not here, here. Sum of quantity, right? And in this case, what I can do is I can go to and simply say number, right? We want to see the overall quantity, let's say, and we don't want any decimal in that case. So you have the option of formatting like this, or you can disable and you can specify your own format. So for now, I will simply go with the basic option where I can choose the formatting based on the number formatting. And here also, I will simply say null, and under the appearance, I can say over here show title, right? So one thing which I am realizing that show title is basically putting it down. So if you want this, okay, but let's say you want over here rather than this, if we specify quantity, you will see that the quantity is coming, but the label is pretty less. Okay, so up to us what option we want, but I'm just going with this. I'm telling you both the things so that you can easily do that. Okay, we have this, and show title, and show title is nothing but quantity, right? So we have quantity. The next thing is what we can do is we can bring one more KPI, right? And our KPI this time is, so we have discount, right? So we have discount, and we always take average of discount, never the sum. This is the subject matter expertise that one should have. So we have average discount. Number formatting, in this case, we will going to have the number, and this will be the percentage. So 16% is the overall average discount that we are having. All right, so one thing I realize is I need to just bring these down below. Reason for this is I need filters at the top, and if I try to do that, you will see that creates over here. Let me try one more time. So these are all small things, but if you are handling it at the planning stage, that will be great, right? Otherwise you will have an issue like this. So one thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring this to this, so I can give only this space to the filter. Okay, so I'm just doing bit of a cleaning, and so that our structure is good. And this way I'm telling you the ways in which you can manage this space. KPI, one more KPI, and I'll bring this down, and I'll bring this up here, add measure. So count of customer, right? So we will have the customer ID, and we need the so we have couple of options, but we can first bring the customer count. However, this will be duplicate, right? Because one customer can have multiple orders. So we need to manage this. But before that, let me just remove this average discount by putting null, and in the appearance show title, and I say discount, right? So now over here in the data section under the customer ID fx, what I need to do is in the count I just need to say distinct, okay, and apply, and the number is now proper 793. That is a small trick for those who are beginner, that you can bring the distinct number over here, okay. And then in appearance show title customer count of customers, right? And then one final KPI, which is this one, and over here adding the measure, and this is the count of product. So we have the product product ID, the count of product, how many products that we are selling, right? So again, this is coming overall number around 10,000 values. We will go in this expression count, and we will say distinct, right? Click apply. So we have 1800 products that we are selling. It's a big list of product, right? So you can have count of product, count of cities, states, whatever is the KPI. So in our case, the requirement is, let's say, to bring the product count, right? Because we have the filters as well. For example, we want to check in a particular state how many products we are selling, the unique number of products that we are selling can be present here. Okay, so we will put null over here, right? And in the appearance, we will enable the data, and we will say count of products. So here is our KPI for what we wanted to do. So for now, if I just click on done editing, you will see that this is where our information is coming. And if I hit save, this is gone. So one thing I want to experiment over here again, because my heart is not here, that it is coming dash over here, right? So if I just remove this, and if I say done editing, yeah, it brings the sum of sales. I was hoping that it will not do. I don't really remember what I did last time in terms of removing this away, but I remember I did something and it just happened. I'll try to figure it out and give it to you, that information. But for now, I am living with this. Not very happy, but it is what it is right now. Okay. All right. Then what we will going to do is we will produce the visualization. So the visualization is our executive is interested to know the sales by categories. Okay. So whenever we hear this word sales by categories, what do we need is basically a bar chart, because that's where we show the categories. Okay. So now the chart is present over here. We were going to click on add dimension, and in the dimension, what I will going to write is the category, as you know. And that is why, if you remember, I wanted to bring all the categories and don't want to filter, or did not want to filter on only the furniture, because furniture, then we will have just one category. We will going to add a measure which will be sales. As you can see, very, very straightforward and easy, right? You have this option. Now the categories are not coming. So what we can do is we can change the appearance. So first of all, we will click here and say sales by category. So here, if you see, it's worked fine. We don't need sum of sales and all of that. So over here we have the dimension. Over here we have the sales right? And again, we don't need the label. So let me see if it happens over here. Yeah, ideally it should have given me the option of, because what null does is it just create this dash. I'm not liking it at all. And then in the appearance, we have sales by category, show details, presentation. Yes, in the vertical, we will change it to horizontal, right? So now we have the sales by category that we want. So over here, we have this grid label, value labels. We want to enable. Yes, we always want to enable the value labels. Just so that it is basically properly appeared. So we have y-axis and x-axis. So we have x-axis category, we have labels and titles. So we will keep title only, right? Or we will keep none. That way it is all removed. As you can see, now it is all removed. If the label is present, like if this data and the label was, we have kept it null. If I just remove that, it will not come, because now it is handled via the appearance in the x-axis and none. This was the option I was looking for in the KPI, but unfortunately I did not have it. So we will look at what workaround I did last time. I need to research on that and figure it out. That was long back. Then we have y-axis categories. We don't need categories over here, so we only need labels, and category is gone. That's how we can format it. So this was our next topic as well. After creating and formatting KPIs, now we are creating and formatting charts, right? Okay, coming back to what we have is the sales by category, right? That is our first chart. The next thing our executive wants is to understand the trend. So what we will, whenever the trend is coming, we will bring the line chart. Dimension will always be the order date, right? So order date, whenever a date field will come, you will see that many information or new field, because date can have YTD, month, quarter, and all of that very easily, which is created for you, so that you don't have to create it, right? So over here, if you will see order date, let me choose month, and measure, I will choose the sales, okay, sum of sales. So what do I get is sum of sales over here. So you have order date dot month. If anytime there is a need that you want to change auto calendar order date dot month, no, you need quarter, you can change it to quarter, and you can click apply, and this will be changed to quarter, right? So wanted to just show you this. So once you have this, and let me just bring it back to month. Okay, click apply and okay. So this is my monthly information, and if I bring it over here and I say sales trend by month, yep, you have this. And then down below in the appearance, what do we have is the sales trend by month. This is how I can present it. I can show it by area, I can show it by line, right? And then on the y-axis and x-axis, I have these similar options, label and title. So what I always do is I don't need this, I only need labels, and generally I prefer that I don't have anything over here, simply this line trend, right? And I enable the data labels. That's usually what I prefer. And for that we have mini chart, we have this. So I'll just enable the labels over here so that reference is there. I usually don't like it, but for some reasons I am not able to see the data label option over here. which is not good, right? There has to be the label option, is just that I am not able to see it right now. Okay, no worries, we can take it later, but this is our line chart. And then once we have our line chart, what do we need? Actually, I remember now just recalled, yeah, there you go, show data labels, right? Value, all, right? And over here we don't need this decimal points, so we have this data, right? We have the data point sales. In the sales, number formatting is, let's say, number, or I can say auto, and auto is basically bringing us this, but then I can show, say, number, and you have multiple options. So for now I will just keep it auto because numbers are not coming pretty great. There is a format to bring this as well, right? Which I do not have in front of me, and I can bring it in our future videos as an advanced topic. Okay, but we have it. So now we don't need the y-axis in this case. So this is the small best practices. I am telling you that this best practice is to not have this, basically, right? And on the x-axis you have the you have everything that you need. So this way interpretation is easy. Your user don't have to go to y-axis again and again to bring that information, right? So that now the next chart what we want to bring in is basically the sales by subcategory. So we have around 14 subcategories. So this is category, but then we have 14 subcategories, which is part of these main subcategories. So what we want to bring in is basically to show that sales is Treemap over here. We want to add the dimension, which is subcategory, right? We want to add a measure, which is sales, and we have it. All the subcategories clearly showing us phone is the highest one, which is selling, then the chairs, storage, table, banners, then machines, and finally you have this last category which will appear as we hover over our mouse. Also, we can click on these categories in the front end. I will show you. Let's say if I'm done editing over here, furniture, if I click it, this is my furniture. If I click on office supply, these are my office supply. If I click on technology, this is my technology. And even this chart is changing over here, as you can see. If I click on technology, technology related KPI is changed everywhere, right? So that is something we have it available. So as you can see, very straightforward, very easy to add this chart. You can click on the title, which is sales by subcategory. Adding a proper labeling is very important. I cannot emphasize in the business scenario when you will produce your actual dashboard that how important it is to create proper labels, right? So we have this. Then we, in the appearance, right, we will see we have title, subtitle, footnote. Again, more and more information if we are creating any complex chart, right? Value labels, we want the value labels, right? And this should be good. So now we have created our chart, which is sales by subcategory, and now our final chart, which is an analytical chart to view the sales and profit both for a given category, like you want to view it for customer, state, city, anything. So that way analysis is at the next level. So what do we need for that is the scatter plot, right? So we bring the scatter plot over here, sales and profit by state. Add the dimension, which is the state dimension over here, right? Add the measure, which is the sales measure over here. So x-axis is sales, y-axis measure is profit. Add the profit, and we have our chart, right? So we have our sales, we have our profit, and this is where our information is right now. Okay, so this basically helps us get the various states. The sales is on here, profit is over here, and I can then choose the information. So over here, the sum of profit, sum of sales doesn't look really good, right? So what we do is we come over here in the sales. What we do is we simply say sales, right? Because we need this to indicate what measure, what type of in this particular chart is. And then we have profit, right? So I bring this up and label, we say profit, right? Only the profit piece. Number formatting, we don't need it because we are not showing anything pretty much over here. Finally, the appearance. In the appearance, we have a couple of options, like we have it over here. We have the bubble size option to increase or decrease the bubble size, right? This is very less. I think this much is fine. We have the labels. We want to keep it auto because otherwise it will be displayed for everyone, right? And maximum 2500 is what you are saying. You can keep it limited, let's say 100, because we know that 100 is what we need. Okay, once we are done with this, right, what do we need now is the filters. Okay, so filters, which is our final topic as well, creating filters and interacting with filters, and finally the next sessions. So we will come back and we will create the filter, which is here in the filter pane. We will put it here, right? And over here we have the option data and add field. What we were going to write is the state. Okay, so we have the state filter, then we want one more filter and add field, and this will be state, city. Yeah, and I remember we need the region filter as well. Okay, let's come over here and let's add region. One more filter, which is this one, add region. So as you can see, we have put the region filter earlier, and that is why I did not want to have the region, because we want all the regions. Region, state, city, cross, yeah. And then what we have is the filter one more, which is we have this, and we want to put let's say we want one more filter where we want customer segment, or simply say segments, right? Over here. And finally the last filter what we want is the order date. Let's say we want order date dot year, right? So we have it, order date dot year. We have this option, appearance, show title. No, we don't want to show the title, but we this is where we have the field and the title. Let's say here, or we will call it order year. Okay, so that way it will come as order year. So our filter, everything is done. We will click on done editing. Everything is properly coming. I can come over here and I select now 2020, and entire chart is now displayed for 2020, right? And over here, my region, I want to see the sales for central region. It contains undefined value. Why? Let me just cross this, and first of all save it, save this entire work, right? Come off here in edit sheet. Okay, over here we have the state. Yes, state is there. In the experience. We have not done anything. All right. We don't have any filter as well on this sales and profit, and even this I'm seeing that this is only coming for 2 categories. So what have we done over here is, I don't think so. Yeah, let's say region is all gone. So technology is fine. So why this one is not coming properly? This is only coming for one state, not for all these states, right? Which we did not want. So what I'll do is I will remove this for quickly, and rather than spending time a lot over there, put it again over here at dimension, which was, if you remember, it's the state, right? Add measure, which was the sales on x-axis, sum of sales, and profit. Okay, sum of profit, everything is coming. Now if I click on done editing, yeah, everything should come, right? Ideally that's what we expect. So if I click on furniture, it will change. If I click on region, come to central, the state on the central side is present here. All the information is changed over here. East unchecked best, all the east state unchecked. We want south, all the south state, right? And with that we can select all the years as well. Let me just do that. Okay, so here I can go in and again 2020, 2019, 2018, unchecking the 2019, or unchecking everything, will select everything and selecting the 2021. So everything will work as expected, right? And whatever you will going to select, for example, I'm selecting 2018, they will present over here. If I select in 2018, I need this particular state is selected, right? And shows you basically every information as breadcrumb sort of thing. I can remove the filter from here as well, right? So this is what we wanted to create at the start, if you remember, and that is what we created, right? What is now last topic, next step. So the next sessions will be like these sessions, right? And this time I have covered very beginner level perspective, even though it is beginner level, but you can see the level of complexity we have gone through. Now from the next sessions I have the ideas, like we will basically have more in-depth session related to the functions, variables, master items, all of these different things, which is part, right, of the ecosystem of the Qlik Sense. We will take, what I will going to do is very specific functions we will take, which is very important from the business dashboard perspective, and I will cover that. So next sessions will going to be very interesting based on the project. So make sure, if you have not hit the subscribe button, make sure you subscribe it. So whenever I'm uploading the next session, you have it with in your inbox directly. So these will be project based sessions, and feel free to give me the comment, right, which functions you want me to put, or what are the scenarios you want me to cover. Put those information into the next session. Advanced dashboard training. Advanced dashboard training is my customized training, which is specifically for those who want to take their skill to a next level. So what do I mean by advanced training? For example, 2.3 million. What is a YOY figure, right? Or quarter to date figure, things like those. Over here, dimensions are changing dynamically, titles are changing dynamically, charts are changing dynamically, and very customized type of visualizations. So just to give you an idea how it may look like, something like this, which is a financial dashboard, which I am showing you from my Power BI advanced dashboard class, which is already live. And same thing is available in Tableau. In Qlik Sense also I'm bringing the same thing. As you can see, net income, ROI, you can dynamically select month, quarter and year. This is very dynamic. You create this chart, click on any of the bar, and the information on the right hand side is displayed. So you have something like previous period, up and down with the arrow, right? So something which your business expect, or a dashboard like this, which is NHS hospital admitted patient care activity. So this is a hospital dashboard. This is a project management dashboard, right? So they will be something similar to these dashboards. Definitely little bit of visual will be different, but that's how the advanced dashboard will look like, where a lot of dimension will be changed. In this case, month dimension for monthly comparison, quarter dimension for quarterly comparison, year dimension for yearly comparison. So very advanced use case is what I'm bringing in this advanced dashboard training, which if you want to purchase, you can connect with me and I will share the dashboard training with you. With that, thank you so much. If you are still here, thank you so much for watching this, and I will meet you now in the next session with the next project.